Hello, everyone. We are in the Women's Nurturing Circle. I have here my very good friend, Jasmine Sotman. She's a psychotherapist and deeply committed to supporting individuals on their journey of self-discovery and healing. And I have some questions for you, and then we will talk about the next event that we will have together. So tell me, could you share a bit about your background and how you became an expert in this field?
Yeah. First of all, hi, Luisa. So beautiful to be here with you. Hello, everybody. I'm super excited to be part of the Women's Nurturing Circle. And yeah, I will share a little bit of my background and how I came into this therapy world. Let's put it this way. So I started studying many years ago in Constance in Germany. And soon, while during my studies, I realized that research, it was a very research-based and scientific and based approach, studies, I would say. So I soon realized that for me, where my heart is really, where I'm fully in my heart is in the clinical work. So I did many practicums and studied in Australia. That was very important for me because there was more like the clinical work in the foreground. And so after studies, I did like a specification in depth psychotherapy, which is in Germany and also in Switzerland necessary for the insurance companies to pay for the patients. So that's very important for the clients that come and cannot pay themselves. So it's really covered by the insurance companies. So that was for me very important to do a specification. Took me another couple of years, but there is where I really realized, oh, that's where I'm at home. So that is touching my heart. You go deeper, you include the biography, it was a very holistical approach. Sorry. So we had many different things, like directions included, like also meditation and imaginative approaches, and many things that I could include in my work. So I maybe a little bit of my work itself. I was working in psychiatries, in clinics, and then also in praxis. And 2 years ago, I opened my own praxis here in Switzerland at the Lake of Constance. And during all of these years, there's many directions that I was figuring out is beautiful and helpful to help the patient, the client, to be able to dig deeper, to look more in the in their shadows, in their hard, the parts that are hardened, that is not easy. So I'm working with patients with depression, with anxiety disorders, with eating disorders. And what they all have in common is that you cannot not include the body. So I will talk about this later on. Why do I offer an intuitive movement therapy session with you? because the body is so important. It's our temple. So if we exclude it in a speech therapy, it's not, for me, I realize it's not possible. So I love to include the body. I love to include movements. I love to look how is your physics, how is the patient breathing. And it's very helpful. It's a very helpful tool. It's a necessity when it's,
And
in my opinion.
and what inspired you to focus on this area? Like, how has your own journey influenced your understanding of this?
Yeah, so in this specification that I did after the studies, it was very necessary. It was a very big part of this specification that you look into your own past, into your own biography. And that was a very healing time, to be able to have a white canvas when you go into this work with a patient, to be able to realize upon your own issues, about your own biography. And that's why I realized for me it's necessary to have the past on the radar, not in the here and now, all the time digging, but to be able to be aware of this, bring it here and have a look. What are these things having to do with the here and now, with my issues in the here and now? So, yeah, I think this was a very profound and important part, the specification, where I was very in this reflection with my own issues. And then also the work in the clinic where it was very holistically, there was a very holistic approach in this clinic. So many different therapies, breath work and imaginations and body therapies, where the body was dancing therapy sessions. So I guess this wide variety that I was always very, very open and interested into. So including many, not only going into one, being like this, like in the studies where it was so research focused and only in behavioral therapy. It's a very good tool for many. It's super good for many patients. But I realized there is so much more in this world, in this whole also ancestral knowledge. So that is where my interest is and was and still is. So I think that's why I do therapy like I do therapy. And to be open, to be always open, to be always with open ears, open eyes, to hear and to listen and to see. That's why also the body, to see, okay, how deep is someone breathing? How is the posture? How is the face? What are the eyes doing? What are the hands doing? What are the feet doing? Is it a nervous? Is there a nervosism? Is there shallow breath only here? It's all of these things that are so necessary in having a also sustainable outcome. Yeah.
And so tell us what is about the circle that that you're preparing, like the method and effects on well-being. Like this, we have this event with Ease to Lightness, self-care evening with an intuitive movement therapy session. So tell us, what is it about?
So, in a society that is very much focused on plans, on structure, on rigid training, on performance, pressure, I realized how important it is to come back to our intuition, like intuitive eating, intuitive moving. And that is not always easy to do. Yeah, go feel your intuition. Try to feel what is your belly saying. We are separated nowadays. Like, I'm generalizing now, but it is so hard for us to go back to our intuition. I realized that while mothering, intuitive mothering, yeah, it's such a nice wording, you know, like all of this intuitive. And in the end, we have to relearn it again, to go back to this feeling, to go back to this sensation of, do I feel something in my belly? Do I have a feeling of intuition? Where is my intuition? And so in this class, in this workshop that we're gonna dive into, I'm super thrilled and excited because it's so much of what I love myself, like this going back again into how you feel now. Like, it's not only about moving, it's first of all, we're going to do like a little bit of a exploration. How am I here today? Also intention setting, that's a very profound part of this workshop, and then going into the moving.
Okay.
And
what are some simple practices or rituals that individuals can incorporate into their daily lives? You said as we are so far away from our intuition, how can we train this muscle, to go back more into our center and into intuition, to feel it? How do you do it? What can you practice? Like, just, yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. Always when you feel like, I'm thinking if I put it in the positive or in the more annoying feeling, like, oh, there it is again. I feel I start with this crumbling in the belly, like, doesn't feel right. And there's where already is your intuition working. There is where already your intuition tells you something. And most of the time we're like, yeah, no, I put it aside now. We said we set it up, like in a work meeting. We have to do it this way, and you have to go through now. So these are the voices in the background, like, you have to do it. You have to stick to the plan. Yeah, that's often how we are trained, how we learned it in this society that is very, what I said earlier, like this performance driven. And there's where you can start listening to this voice that says, my belly tells me, something is, some people very easily, clients, they tell me very easily getting like an ungood feeling in the belly, like a not good feeling in the belly, and and this is the voice that we start listening again. Like, these are the little rituals that we can breathe in and out and check again in, like, put your hand on your heart and hand on the belly. That's where it's also a very big part of our brain, not only here, it's in here and here. And to start listening, to say, okay, what is my belly? Why is my belly not feeling okay right now? Why do I have to go quickly to toilet when some bigger decision is coming? Is there something that is maybe not aligned? And am I allowing myself to listen again, to hear? So it needs to be retrained. It needs a training. As you say, this muscle needs to be again like, I feel something there. And to give yourself the permission to allow yourself to feel this. So that's a very big part, like to allow yourself. When there's allowance, can be felt.
Great. Yeah, that sounds good. I will practice it. Do you have any final thought or takeaways you would like to share with our audience before we go?
Oh yeah, sure. Allow yourself to listen to yourself again. Allow yourself to take yourself serious, to take yourself and your body feeling serious. And that's where it starts intuition coming into the game. That's where it starts, where we can feel again and we can listen again, and where we can maybe thrive again and be deeply happy, because that's what we all wish for, no? To be doing what we love to do, and to be able to do it from our hearts.
Yeah, I really look forward to our workshop, like to practice this intentional intuition feeling and movement, kind of to recognize again and to start practicing, because actually this is something that we need to practice. It's not something that we do one time and that's it. So it's nice that you can like have a guide us through it, and that maybe we can put together our own ritual, how we want to do it, like with intention, and really go into this intuition again. Thank you very much for your time, Jessie, and
Thank you,
we
Lisa.
really look forward to be with you in the with Ease to Lightness self-care evening with
Great.
intuitive movement therapy session.
Thank you
Thank
so much
you.
having me, and have a beautiful sunny day. I'm looking forward to
Yes,
Sunday.
we too.
Bye
Bye.
bye.